KFDX photojournalist Jake VanDonge gives us a look at various tributes around Texoma.
I'm certain that many, if not most Americans, will take a moment today to say thank you to those heroic individuals who have left our world and gone to another world in the service of our nation.
The fire danger's high in Texas, where winds are gusting up to 35 miles per hour and humidity is low. At least 15 brush fires were burning there on Thursday.
Down the road, Jeff Smith's house appears to have escaped the flames. That is, until you see the back and the interior.
You just really couldn't believe it. It was all gone in an hour and a half.
On the bright side, compared to this mess, Smith will probably never again tell his son that his room is a disaster.
You always see it on TV, wow, that's terrible, you know, and then all of a sudden, boom, it can happen.
Dad and Mike jumped this time together while Joseph waited at the drop zone.
When they start that C-47 up, it just, stand your hair up on them. And you go out that door, hit that blast, and you do your count, and to be under a canopy and try to remember and feel what it was like jumping out at night with flak going off and tracers coming up.
Okay, everybody, on your mark, get set, go!
A beanie burger contains refried beans, a hamburger patty, Fritos, jalapenos, cheese, and chili.
What's it like to be back?
It's always great to come home, no matter how old you are. Home is home, and to just sleep in my bed and have my mom do my laundry. And this year I brought home my daughter, and we were here for Mother's Day, so it was really special.
But there's one in particular I have to point out to you.
I know
it's your one I played.
I know it.
I know which one it is.
I know it.
A lot has changed for Angela Kinsey since her Archer City high school days.
Good looking.
Who is that?
Oh, look,
it was my character. I was a sad, depressed person.
Kinsey says Texoma will always be home, and it's a home that's about as far away from the glamour and hustle of her TV career as possible.
I love coming home, and it's a great departure from Los Angeles. I go out, we feed the cows, we sit outside, have a glass of iced tea. It's wonderful.
When she mentioned Archer City, of course, we had a couple Archer City tables that hooped and hollered a little bit for her, and it's fun to be able to call someone your own.
Kinsey spoke about perspective.
Just be in the moment with people and let them have that with you.
Of being prepared to seize opportunities.
Know yourself, know what you want, and then go for it. Go for it. Don't let anyone tell you no. If you know in your heart that that's what you want to do.
And about the joys of being a mother to new daughter Isabel.
I think being a mom just makes everything, it just magnifies everything. It magnifies your love, it magnifies your guilt, it magnifies every part of your life in so many positive ways. I couldn't imagine my life without her at all.
Her down-to-earth reflections resonated with the audience.
When you know you're going off to work, when you know you're leaving a baby behind.
I think that's what people come to hear, and I thought she nailed it.
And her good nature came as a pleasant surprise to many.
I play such a miserable person. I mean, I spend most of my day like this. So if I even just say hi, people are like, oh my gosh.
Kinsey says behind the scenes, the cast of The Office is as close as a family.
I think we are really having a good time, and I think you feel that. Because we do. We spend all day laughing and trying not to mess up our scenes.
And far away from The Office, Kinsey brought some of that laughter to the place she calls home.
Welcome back. If you haven't figured out yet who makes this burger that Playboy magazine calls one of the 10 best burgers in the nation, well, think of earthquakes, fault lines, seismographs, cobbler, and onion rings. Well, if you're still in the dark, just think Meers, Oklahoma, home of the Meers burger, made of grass-fed, low-fat, longhorn beef raised not far from the restaurant. Playboy describes Joe Moranto's Meers store as a ramshackle structure in the middle of nowhere that looks like it's going to collapse at any minute. The Meers burgers have been famous with locals for years, but are attracting more and more people by word of mouth who travel miles out of their way to get one of the giant burgers served in a 7-inch pie tin.
Yeah, we're just out doing some farm work. We live about 40 miles from here. Jeff here decided he'd have the seismic burger. I think we're going to take a to-go box, I think.
There's a blending of flavors that you can't get with an open-faced burger. And that's really the secret right there. You got to have that blending of flavors, which you get when you put hot meat on top of fresh tomatoes and lettuce and onions and pickles. See? And then you got it.
They are certainly good. In case you're wondering where the other 9 best burgers are, you can find those in the June issue of Playboy.
And you can't find that burger anywhere around here, I've noticed.
It was a day of honor and recognition.
The American Volunteer Reserves and a very grateful nation, thank you for your service.
The Volunteer Reserves saluted as 3 members of the Lost Battalion received honorary promotions to the rank of colonel. Dan Buzzo says it was a good day.
Oh, I've had a good day any day I wake up alive. And a good day in prison camp wasn't a good one.
For these former prisoners of war, being starved and tortured by their Japanese captors became a way of life. They say they survived by taking it a few months at a time.
I did mine in 3 months. It's just more or less. 3 months of allies will be here. They didn't make it.
So they supported each other, sharing their meager rations and taking care of the sick.
We helped save the nation.
We served together. We lived together. We underwent the same kind of conditions. We can talk to one another that we understand.
They remember singing God Bless America when they learned the war was over.
I turned around to the guy next to me and I said, well, it looks like we made it. We shook hands.
Together, these 3 survivors celebrated making it, leading the ceremony as the traditional Colonel Bogey March played. They say the brotherhood they share will last as long as they live.
You know, most people have maybe 5 good friends during a lifetime. And I would always say, I have 500. I can call on and say I need something. And their response will always be, where are you? And that's the way it's been all the way through. Where are you? What can I do?
And going into the night, the preliminaries to the air show continue to go on. Listen, obviously a prop job, if you can hear that. Clear skies, as you can see right there. As the sun goes down, temperatures will start to fall. Game time is going to be absolutely perfect.
They go for a 2-point conversion to pull within a field goal, and they get it. Tigers with the lead. And then it's number 1, Logan Gunter. Does anybody even touch him? I don't think so. Down the sideline for the score. Monday, getting back on the board, though. One of the most exciting players in this area to watch, Kenyon Thompson. He goes for the score, pulling the Moguls to within 17-12. And Trevor Fenolio gets his 2nd touchdown of the game, capping the scoring in this one. Henrietta gets the victory tonight, 42-21, so they wrap up a perfect regular season. And of course, if you have a perfect regular season, you gotta have someone get dumped with the ice bucket, and you can bet it happened tonight in Henrietta. We're gonna have those buoy highlights from tonight's game tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Our cameraman hit a deer on the way back, so that
He's okay, though.
He's okay.